Children, let me ask you two questions. What materials are used to pack your favorite biscuits and chocolates? There are special butter paper, foils, or plastic cover that is used to pack biscuits and chocolates. In order to make them attractive, they are wrapped with uh, foil or plastic cover, isn't it? Now, what is the function of packaging department of any factory? The packaging department of any factory packs the products that are manufactured in the factory. The cell organelle Golgi complex also acts as a packaging department that packs and distributes substances. Let us study in detail about this Golgi complex. Camillo Golgi described the Golgi complex for the first time. He developed the staining technique called black reaction, and with the help of it, he studied nervous system, and he won the Nobel Prize of 1906 along with Santiago Cajal for the study of structure of nervous system. So in honor of the scientist, great scientist Camillo Golgi, the cell organelle has been named Golgi complex. It acts as a packaging department, right? Golgi complex, it is made up of 5 to 8 hollow and flat sacs placed parallel to each other, and these sacs are called as cisternae. Do you see here? There are 5 to 8 hollow flat sacs, and these are placed parallel to each other, and these sacs are called as cisternae. It is looking like a uh, flattened balloons. If they are stacked over one another, the Golgi complex will have a structure like this, and these flat sacs are called as cisternae, and they are filled with different enzymes. They are filled with various types of enzymes. The proteins coming from endoplasmic reticulum, are enclosed in vesicles which come towards Golgi complex via cytoplasm. They fuse with the formation phase of the Golgi membranes and empty their content in the cisternae. Proteins are manufactured by they are enclosed in vesicles. Proteins are present in the vesicles. These are the round bodies which are called as vesicles. So proteins, they come in these vesicles, and this vesicle will come through the cis phase, formation phase of Golgi membrane, and they empty their content into this flat sacs which is called as cisternae, and they pass through the cisternae, and then they, with the help of their enzymes, these substances are chemically modified. Again they are packed in these vesicles, and this vesicle will exit from the maturation phase. New vesicles are formed, and these vesicles will contain the new modified substances, and the cisternae work like a packaging department that packs and distribute the substances to various target sites. Have you understood how the Golgi complex actually works? Now let us see the functions of Golgi complex. Golgi complex is the secretory organ of the cell. It modifies, sorts and packs materials synthesized in the cell, enzymes, mucus, proteins, pigments, etc., and dispatches them to various targets like plasma membrane, lysosome, etc. It produces vacuoles and secretory vesicles. It helps in the formation of cell wall, plasma membrane, and lysosomes. So, the various functions of Golgi complex are given here. Golgi complex acts as a secretory organ of the cell. Formation of cell wall, plasma membrane, lysosome is aided by Golgi complex. Different secretions are prepared in the Golgi complex, and hence it is called as secretory organ. Various vacuoles and secretory vesicles are also produced by Golgi complex. Now let us study lysosomes. What happens to the agriculture waste after a few days when it is dumped into compost pit? If agriculture waste is dumped into a compost pit, what will happen after few days? It will naturally decay and it will convert into a manure. Means decomposition takes place and agricultural waste will turn into manure. And what will happen if the uh, cellular organelles they become old and it is of no use to the cell? What will happen to those type of waste, cellular waste? Actually lysosome is playing an very important role in this case, that whenever cell organelles they become uh, worn out or they become old, they are thrown out of the cell by these lysosomes. lysosome Lysosomes are very simple single membrane bound sacs, and these are filled with digestive enzymes. Due to various metabolic activities in the cell, organic waste is generated, and this organic waste is digested by lysosomes. Organic waste is generated and it has been digested by these lysosomes. So, lysosome acts as a immune system. It destroys various organisms like viruses and bacteria that attack the cell. Means it helps to increase the immunity of the cell. Demolition squads. It is it used to destroy worn out cellular organelles and organic debris. Organic debris means organic waste, whatever is prepared, which grade organic debris are cleared by these lysosomes, and this process is called as autolysis. When a cell becomes old or is damaged, then lysosome burst and enzymes digest their own cell, and that is why it is called as suicide bags. During starvation, lysosome digest stored proteins and fats, and energy is liberated, which is used to carry out various body functions. Now, one more cell organelle we are going to study, that is mitochondria. Each cell requires energy, and this energy is produced in mitochondria. Under electron microscope, a mitochondrion is seen as a double membrane structure. The outer membrane is porous and the inner membrane is deeply folded. These folds are called cristae. The inner cavity is filled with proteinaceous gel-like matrix containing ribosome, phosphate granules, and DNA. Therefore, it can produce its own proteins. With the help of enzymes, mitochondria oxidize carbohydrate and fats in the cell. The energy released in this process is stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Plant cells have less mitochondria as compared to animal cells. So, singular is mitochondrion and plural is mitochondria. So, mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse of cell. Which type of energy is required to run fans, computers, electric bulbs? Huh? Electricity is required to run fans, computers, and electric bulbs. And where this energy is produced, it is this energy, electricity is produced in power stations. Similarly, energy which is required to carry out various metabolic activities, that energy is produced in mitochondria. So mitochondria acts as a powerhouse of cell. It is double membrane structure. It has double membrane. Uh, it means its structure. It has two membrane structure. The outer membrane is porous and the outer membrane is porous and the inner membrane is deeply folded. See here, inner membrane is deeply folded and these folds are called as cristae. These folds are called as cristae. The inner cavity has matrix containing ribosomes, phosphates, granules and DNA. It is like a proteinaceous gel. With the help of enzymes, oxidation of carbohydrates and fats takes place and energy is released. Release of energy takes place and it is stored in the form of ATP. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Functions of mitochondria to produce energy rich compounds ATP. So ATP is actually a currency, energy currency note for cell. It acts as a currency note for cell, means energy rich compound, energy giving compound. ATP is energy rich compounds and it is produced by mitochondria. Synthesis of proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, etc. by using the energy in ATP. Mitochondria produces its own proteins. Plant cells have less mitochondria as compared to animal cells. So we have studied three cell organelles. One is Golgi complex, number two lysosomes and third one is mitochondria. Thank you.